Looks like we're live. Idiot of the day, Jeff here, Commit Don't Quit live stream. Today we're early stream, headed to the airport. As you know, we don't go live at 11 o'clock. We always go live at 2 p.m. Monday to Friday. Yeah, you know, the odd day we have to change it up. Maybe someone's sick or we have to make an appointment. But that's what's happening today, 2 p.m. I'm not going to be around. My mom's headed home from holiday. She's been away in Cuba. So literally we have to pick her up at 3 and have to go pick up my son and then get to the airport. So we're just going to be early. So that's why we're on at that's why we're on at 11 this morning instead of 2, just because we're headed to the airport this afternoon. So that's all it is, nothing more. But yeah, that's what it is today. So hope you're having a good day. Happy Thursday, right? One day closer to the weekend. Today I thought take us to the beach under the boardwalk. Hopefully that's not too loud. I don't have everything organized as well as I'd like to, but hopefully the stream's running fine today. But anyways, hope you're having a good day. Let's get this started here. Let me just get things organized in OBS. I'll just be a second. Sorry about all this. Hopefully we don't have any issues like yesterday. Yesterday we started the stream the first 30 seconds a minute. Blue screen, computer shut down. Got it restarted within 5 minutes and we're back up and running. Everything's good. But I think we did some diagnostics. I couldn't figure what the issue is, but we'll get it ironed out. And if not, I might take the music off. I don't think that's the issue, but my wife's certain that's what the problem is. So we'll take it off and just leave it on the hard drive for a couple weeks, see if we have any issues. But anyways, hope you're having a good day. Like I said, I don't usually go on at this time. This is just kind of an early start because literally I'm not going to be here at 2 o'clock. That's pretty much all it is. So I'm going to just open a few things while I'm getting this started. I'm going to see if I can get this put out on Twitter. So I'm going to log into Twitter. Just going to take me a couple minutes. I know, like I said, you know, I don't go on at this time, but I thought it was a good time to come on right now. So I'm going to post this to Twitter. Just going to have to log into Twitter. It just takes me a couple minutes, so I'm sorry about this. I do apologize. I have to get a code for Twitter. Give me a second. Sorry about this, everybody. I log in. I have a security code to get into all my accounts. I don't access anything without verification codes. That way, no access for anybody. I have to get the code and off we go. So just give me a second. Give me a second to get this. Sorry about this. Like I said, Oh, Desmond Saunders, Dave. Hi, Jeff. Still hanging around, waiting for Lindsay. Already tweeted. Oh, thanks, Dave. I'm gonna tweet it out on mine too. Dave, I'll get you the address. We don't. I don't actually know what it is. We get everything sent to a post office box, literally around the corner, and I don't know what it is, but I'll get it after I'm done here. I'll send it to you. I know you sent me a message, but I'll get it sent to you. I won't say it over here, but I think Joe put it in my contacts. Anyways, I'll get it sent. It'll probably be about 5-10 minutes after I'm done this, but I'll ship it. I'll send it out to you and that. So, but I'm sorry I didn't get it to you earlier. I just I received this about a couple minutes before I went live, but I'll get it sent to you. I promise. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good day. I literally didn't know if I would go live today, but I thought, you know what? I still I don't need to go, but I still like to go as much as possible, at least Monday to Friday, at least once a day and stuff. But this week's a little bit different. I've been doing a few more lives here and there the last few weeks, but wasn't 100% up to par. So I just been doing pretty much one let me see here, one a day. I'm gonna see if I can post this to Twitter. Let me see, everybody. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just seeing if I can get this posted. There we are. Now let's see if I can tweet it out. There it is. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. I just saw that you tweeted out
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I am going to exit out of here now. I can log out of Twitter. Sorry about that. Close that out. There we are. And I'll close that out. Good. There. No problem. I'm not posting until we get back. Anyways. Oh, yeah. No worries, Dave. Literally, like I said, I don't know what it is. Joe had literally said I didn't know we could get a post office box. I thought you had to pay for a post office box. But I guess a lot of places, even in the States, I think a lot of people in the States think you have to buy post office boxes. But we found out about a month ago you don't have to. Literally, like the Canadian Postal Service here, you just send them your information, and they send you like an email or call you. And then when the package is there, you go pick it up. A lot of places you have to go pay for your post office. But you don't. I think it's something new in the last year, which is, I don't see why not, because if you get something from Amazon, you just go pick it up there anyways. Or if they can't pick anything up, you just pick it up. So I think it's a good thing. Stephanie Cardinal, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. Thanks very much for coming. I do appreciate it. Like I said, a lot of people won't know this is live right now because, this is not normal time for me at all, but that's okay. Like I said, I thought I'd come on a bit. Dismissed Dr. Swag, Jeff, wow, what? 30 pounds a month here? Yikes. Now, Dave, that's why we thought we could only have it shipped here. I mean, we live in a townhouse. It's not a big deal. But, I mean, let's put it this way. Even the courier service, our location, I don't want to say it's hidden. It's almost impossible to find our location. I remember years ago, Ethan fell and hit his head, split his head wide open. He fell. He was just a little guy. He was running into his room. It was like, Halloween years ago. I think that's about 7 or 8 years ago. Just when he was just like 3, I guess. And he was running, and he slipped. And we'd put these little rubber carpets in his room so he wouldn't slip. But he just slipped, and he didn't slip on the carpets. He slipped in the end of his bed. It's a wooden bed, and the edges they're not really sharp, but the edges kind of went around, and it was sharp. It's just the way he hit his head. He hit it right here and split it wide open. And we had to call the ambulance to get them to come quick. So that's a whole fiasco. But anyways, it took them... They didn't know where it was. They couldn't find it because our location, the address, you can't see it from the road. So it's almost impossible to find. And then they had to come in. But yeah, so... Needless to say, it's best for us for post office box. But I'll get shipped to you anyway. I'll get it sent out to you anyways. Sorry about that. But $30. That's crazy, Dave. That's crazy. But I thought you had to pay for them because I know you can still pay for them here too. But I don't know why it's an option for free, but it is. So, Stephanie Cardinal, I'm good. Just waking up. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, somebody asked me how I was doing. I said, at least I woke up. That's good. Comac Strickland. Hi, how are you? It's nice to have you here. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. You packed me. Hey, John, how are you? It's nice to have everybody here. Thanks very much. I need a sip of water. Just give me about 20 seconds here. I'm on early. It's 11 o'clock, 11:08 here in the morning. Reason it's so early. Usually I go on in about 3 hours from now, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But Mom's coming home. She's been on holidays for 2 weeks, and she's coming home from Cuba. She went to Veradero. She went with a couple that her and my dad were friends with for years, and that she worked with. But now my dad's gone. She doesn't travel as much, and they asked her about 5 or 6 months ago if they're going away for a couple weeks, and she said. They asked, would you like to go? She said, yeah, I'd love to. So she went, and sounds like she's had a good time. And anyways, I have to pick her up at about 3 o'clock. But 2's, I won't be on. I have to go pick up my son from school. Then we have to head out the airport for a while and go pick her up and then bring her home. But it's funny. She comes home. She's home for 3 weeks. And then she heads to Scotland for 3 weeks. So she's on the traveling... She's on the traveling road this last 2 months by the time she's home. But we're excited. We figure, she's older and stuff. She probably doesn't have that many more years of traveling in her. So, while she can go, good for her. And the couple that she's going with, they're originally from Scotland. They came here over 50 years ago, and my mom's friend, her mother's still alive. She's about 97 or 98. She lives in Scotland, and she's going to visit her. And just after they'd booked this trip, she said she was going, and my mom said, one day I'd like to get to Scotland. And it was just my mom's friend. Her husband's not going. He doesn't go every time they go, because she goes quite often to Scotland. So anyways, she said to my mom, would you like to come, Brad? Come with me, it'll keep me company. And my mom said, I'd love to. I'll never get a chance to go again. So she says, we'll just stay with my mom, like check in on her and make sure she's good. And they'll spend 3 weeks of traveling. They'll spend like 2 or 3 days at a time going off on bus trips, going on day trips. And then they'll spend some time with her mom. But basically, probably about 2 of the 3 weeks, they'll probably be off doing stuff. So my mom was super excited, and she had someone to go with, so she wouldn't have to go by herself. Ian Packmill, I've heard Scotland's pretty awesome. Oh my gosh. John, I hear it is too. Years ago, like about 15, 18 years ago, something like that, when my dad passed away, coming on in September, it'll be 4 years, and he just had a stroke, and that just passed out, and that was it, unfortunately. So I don't want to say it's not good, but if you're going to go, that's probably the easiest way to go. Lights out, it's done. But I'm not making light of that. Please don't take that. I miss him terribly, but you know what? That probably was the best way to go for a person in that. Anyways, years ago, about 18 years ago or so, my mom and him went to Ireland. That's where my dad's parents were from. They had a blast, and you know what? They wish they could have went to Scotland, England, and Wales, the rest of the countries, but they didn't have the chance. They saw Ireland, and everybody else in the family's been there. My brother, just myself. I'm the only one that's never been. And one day, I'd like to take my family. If not the family, my wife at least. We'll get there one time. My wife, Jo, she'd really love to go. Desmond Donders, Dave. I know Scotland's awesome. Oh my gosh, David. I imagine it's beautiful. You know, watching the videos and that. I mean, you know, I've seen tons of documentaries, and it looks beautiful. But that's not hands-on. So I imagine it is beautiful. And like I'm always saying to you, your scenery is absolutely amazing, and we have nothing like that here. I mean, we do have. If you went out eastern Canada, we have things that are, you know, hundreds of years old, but nothing to the extent of what it is over there. So that's as close as we could ever get here. Is something like that out east, but nothing like you would have. So I think it would be brilliant to see. Excuse me, sorry about that. San Diego Barbie, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Wow, Desmond Stonders, Dave says, whiskey in Scotland, please. Oh gosh, Dave, when you get back, you're gonna have to start your start your either whiskey series or your series on the drinks and stuff, my friend. I look forward to that. I'm not joking. I think you know what Frank and I were saying. We'd love to watch something like that. We think you do a fantastic job on it. San Diego Barbie, whiskey is good everywhere in the world. It certainly is, isn't it? Now my wife, I don't know if my wife doesn't drink, but myself, I would. I'm having water right now, but yeah, I think that would be very, very good. Dave says Desmond Stonders agreed, but whiskey is the rest of the world. Whiskey is made in Scotland. Whiskey series is coming. Good. Can't wait for it. Looking forward to it, my friend. Looking forward to it. Oh gosh, so how's everybody's day doing? Everybody having a good one so far? It's been a busy morning around here. We got a little bit. I won't make this long today. I'll just go to 12. It's about 11:15, so it gives me. I'm about a quarter of the way through. It gives me about 45 more minutes, and then I'll get off here and give me about 2 hours to get things done around here before I head to the airport. San Diego Barbie says good one. Yes, exactly. It will be a good one. It certainly will. So how's the weather everywhere? It's absolutely beautiful day here today. You know, we've had colder weather, the snow and stuff came back the last 24, 48 hours, but woke up, the sun's out, it looks amazing, and it looks good stuff. It looks good. So, if you know Big Keg, you know, I know Desmond Stonders does. A few of you know, Abe Packmeal does. Anybody that knows Big Keg, he just made a Facebook site. If anybody's interested, Desmond Saunders says 8 degrees Celsius and cloudy here. I'm not actually sure what it is here. Give me a second. Give me a second. I don't know what the weather is here. Oh, it's minus 17 earlier, but now it's minus 9 Celsius. So it's not it's not really too warm, but it's a little chilly. But the sun's out. That's amazing. What was I saying? Yeah, Big Keg has made a site. You know how he does recycling and e-waste. He made a new site. He put it up on his. I'm not sure if it's upper or lowercase, but he put up a site on Facebook because in Australia where he lives, the certain portion where he lives, he says that they don't really do the e-waste exactly. They don't have a lot of people that go pick up some of the scrap and stuff, and some of the stuff that needs to be where he can take it away for them. So he's made up a channel on Facebook. It's called FBG E-Waste. FBG E-Waste, pretty much. And you know what? Pretty good channel. Not pretty good. It's a great channel. And you know what? The reason he did it, he thought, you know, it's good because he says there's a lot of people, you know, other than having to take it down themselves, or sometimes they can't or they don't want to. He says this is great. He says he can pick it up and then take it down, and so that's great for him. But yeah, he has a channel that he added onto Facebook called FBG E-Waste, and you know, he's doing a good job. He just started out this past week and that, but if you know Keg and you know, you're interested, or you like to help him out with it, you know, if you know people in Australia, yeah, you could let them know, because in his area, you know, he says he's just getting started, and you know, people he's able to go in the area and pick it up. So if you know anybody in the area where he is, or in Australia, if you were to share it to them on Facebook, it would help him out, and that because he's a super good guy. Everybody knows, a lot of people know Keg here, and I'm not trying to promote things. You know what, we all like him, and he's a great fella. I just think, you know what, if that could help him, and that, and I mean, you know, not a lot of us are in Australia, but there are Australians that come on here. So if there's anybody, or if you know somebody, if you let them know, and that it might help them out, and that, and you know what, helping people out is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. Sometimes we all need it. I know that for sure. So, and he's a super good guy. He'd help anybody out. Poshcats camping. Hey Trev, how are you? Hi everybody, Trev here. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. You know what? I think Desmond Saunders is getting antsy. I think he's just waiting for Lindsay to finish work so they can head out for their daughter. I'm not sure exactly. I think Joe was saying, are you going for a week or week and a half, Dave? But Desmond Saunders is waiting for his wife. She's going to be done in a tiny bit, and then they're going to get out on their daughter, get out on their travels again. They've been waiting quite some time now, about 6 weeks, is it? Five and a half. Sorry, Dave, I don't want to put it out there exactly, but somewhere between 5 and 6 weeks or so. So imagine he's getting anxious, and you know, can't wait to get Desmond the motorhome out there again, and get traveling, get out on the road again. Oh gosh. Anyways, I really thank you for coming. Thanks again. Much appreciated. Trevor was saying to everybody that the reason I'm about 3 hours early today, I'm 11 o'clock our time in the morning. Usually go on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Today we went on early because I put it out there that headed to the airport in a couple hours. My mom, she was on vacation in Cuba for 2 weeks, and she comes home this afternoon. And if I leave around 2, it gives me enough time to pick my son up from school and head out to the airport a while away and pick her up for 3 o'clock. It'll get us into the parking lot, get her waiting for a few minutes, and then pick her up in time. And she'll be excited to have us pick her up and stuff. So that's the reason for the early one. I'll be back again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Just today, it was a good time to come on a little earlier today. Poshcats camping. David going on a downer. Who would have thought it? Yeah, you know what? I think he's grinning from ear to ear, Trev, just to get out. I'm sure he is. Desmond Saunders says, yes, I'm raring to go and stealing Wi-Fi while I wait. We're off until a week on Sunday. Oh, gosh, that's great. That is good. good, good. Well, I hope the weather's good. You were saying, what was it, 8 degrees or something? Yeah, 8 degrees Celsius. So I hope it stays like that. You know, it should be a brilliant time for you. It should be a good time. Desmond's daughter, Steve, says, I'm making supper tonight as Lindsay is working. Okay. Well, that's good, good, good. Well, you know what? You should be... Oh my gosh, you just said the magic 2 words, Desmond's daughter's fish and chips. It is then. Oh, that's one thing. Fortunately, Joe doesn't make fish and chips. She does, but it's not the original fish and chips. It's not the good stuff. If we want fish and chips, we have to go down to the fish and chips restaurant or a fast food place and pick it up there. And we don't have a ton of them here. We have a few odd ones through the city, but there's a couple good ones. There's one, they have a fella, he's from out east, and he's been here over 35 years or so, and he opened up 3 restaurants here in the city, and he's done wonderful for himself, and because I mean we don't have that many, so he's really done well for himself. But so we pick him up, but here it's pretty pricey for fish and chips. It's one of the more expensive things to pick up. Fish isn't as cheap as it might be, but it's quite expensive here, and so we don't have it very often. But my wife, when we have fish, she usually gets she makes the chips from the frozen chips and the frozen fish. So I'm not, it's okay, but Joe's not on here, so I won't say anything other than I don't really enjoy it as much as from the shop. Excuse me, sorry about this, everybody. Desmond's daughters, neither do I, currently parked outside a takeaway. So one thing I enjoyed when I was little kid, my grandparents, they pretty much, I want to say they brought us up. My grandparents were there from 7 in the morning. They didn't go home till almost 9 o'clock at night. They were there just about every day of my life when I was a kid. And my grandmother, she would cook dinner and stuff, made a lot of roasts and stews and stuff like that. That's what we had. But on Friday, my grandfather, being from Ireland, he loved his fish and chips, just loved them. So he'd pick us up. We're just little kids. He'd pick me and my brother up as kids, and we'd sit in the car. My grandmother would tell him to go to the grocery store and pick a few things up, bread and milk, and the odds and ends before he came home and stuff. So he'd do that. But what would happen is he'd pick me up at the school, and literally the grocery store was right around the corner. So we'd go. There was a little plaza mall. And in the back of the plaza, there was a grocery store, and off to the back, there was an old fish and chip place, an old British man that had the shop for 25 years in there. And what he would do is, on Fridays, him and I would go in, and we get enough fish and chips for the 2 of us. My brother, I don't remember him being around at the time. Must have been before he was born. And him and I would sit in the car, and at the time I had a little puppy, and the pup would sit in the back seat, and between the 3 of us, we'd sit there and eat fish and chips on Friday afternoon, and then we'd head home. And before we head home, I loved it. It was a fun time with my grandpa. Before he'd pick me up, he'd sit out there. My grandfather didn't smoke, but he smoked a cigar, and he'd smoke his cigar. He'd have the dog, and he'd come like half an hour before to pick us up, and he'd sit, because he didn't smoke in the house or around my grandmother. So he'd smoke a cigar out in the car, and that was it. And come pick me up. We'd have fish and chips, and it was hilarious. At the end, he'd always say no. He called me Jeffrey. My grandparents called me Jeffrey as a little boy, and he used to say, Jeffrey, don't you dare tell your grandmother. He says, because if she finds out, she's gonna blow up. And I said, okay. He says, you have to eat every bite. He says, you finish this, then when you go home, you eat every bite. Your grandmother says, the minute she finds out that we're doing this on Fridays, she's not going to cook on Fridays, or she's going to tell us it's, time to hit the road or something. So anyways, I remember, it didn't matter how full you were on Friday, you had to go home. You had to eat supper, and usually, we just ate a huge meal just before dinner. So luckily I had the pup. She loved to sit right by my feet, and you know what? I was able to feed the pup my dinner and stuff. Anyways, now that I bored everybody to death, Posh Cats Camp Trev says, we head out tomorrow for 2 nights in the van. We're staying in a place called, I'm probably going to mess this up, Trev, and I'm sorry, we're staying in a place called Fakenham or Fakenham. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. Fakenham or Fakenham, but there's nothing fake about it. Say it or wild, Trev. Whoops, what happened there? I think hopefully I didn't just lose the connection. It looked like it dropped out there for a second. That was strange. Hope everybody's still there. I don't think I've lost you. It flashed for a second. It looked like I've lost everybody. Whoops. Maybe I have lost everybody. Maybe I have to restart this. Still here. Oh yeah. Good. Did it flash for you or did it time out? It's like it timed out here, and I'm just wondering if has the audio or anything been going out? It's been flashing here. I don't know if it's the computer or what. It flashed and then it came back and then it flashed and came back again. So I'm just kind of concerned maybe either it's computer or it's the internet or it's the tube. Something, I don't know. No, it was fine for me. Good. Okay. Maybe it's on my end. So audio's good. Okay, good. I will zip it because you know what happens usually when I talk about it, right? Usually that's, knock on wood, that's usually when it happens, isn't it? Give me a second here, everybody. I'm so sorry. Give me I'm going to walk out. I'm just going to step out. And I'm just going to be 2 seconds, everybody. Be right back. Sorry about this, everybody. Sorry. There we are, perfect. Feel like $1,000,000 now. I got a little bit of a head cold the last day, and I think it's, you know, just time of year. That's also. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Rock Truck Rob. Hey, all good day. How are you? Thank you very much for coming. I'm so sorry about that. I had a little bit of head cold, so I just had to get a Kleenex. I didn't want everybody to have to hear or see me, so I just stepped off for a second, came back, just washed up. So I apologize. Thanks again. I appreciate you for coming. I do appreciate you for coming. Thanks again. Much appreciated. Let's see here. There we are. Let's just check this out. So, Trev and Dave, I don't know. I think I might have said yesterday. I did finally get to hear. I did get to finally hear some Focus, the band Focus that you've been talking about. Desmond's Daughters. I think YouTube's having issues again today. I wondered because on the previous stream at 10 our time, just right before I went live, I've been watching Michael Fire on his video content marketing. You know what? Great stream, but I think there've been, I don't know if connections problems. I don't really know, and it could be. I mean, it can happen at any time, unfortunately, for anybody. So, but it could be. You never know. You never know. That's okay. It's totally Canadian thing. Laugh aloud. Rock Trev Rob. Yes, no, it is. It is. But yes, I wanted to say to Desmond's Daughters and Pochcats Camping, they were asking if I was going to listen to a band called Focus, and I think they're from Europe, right? Are they Dutch band? You did tell me. I can't remember exactly 100% if they were from Holland, like they're Dutch, or I don't think it was Danish. I thought it was from Holland, but I can't remember. But I really did enjoy them. Like you said, it really was like the progressive style and stuff like that. I'd heard the name before, but I'd never heard them. But they did kind of remind me of, just not 100% of Jethro Tull, just the flute portion of Jethro Tull, and a mix of some Genesis meets Yes, and like with the organ and stuff like that, and just the mix of stuff. Not that I'm saying they sounded like one band over another, but that's what it reminded me of. But I'd have to listen to more. I only did get probably a good 10 minutes or so, because all I could find at the time, they had a channel, but I didn't get to see it. I saw they had like 2 live videos, and I was caught a few minutes here and a few minutes there. So, but it sounded pretty interesting. I saw them interviewed and stuff. So, wow, no, what the show about everything. Hi, just dropped in to give a thumbs up. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for dropping in. Much appreciated. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's it's Thursday, right? One day closer. And hey, Desmond's Donders, Dave from Desmond's Donders is finally getting on a Donder, everybody. So everybody, he's excited. He's been waiting a long time for this. Desmond's Donder says, Michael was having issues and I had problems with Throwback Thursday today. Okay. I mean, it can happen, right? It just wouldn't be this. I mean, it happens on a lot of different sites, so it can happen. It's just... Do you want to come up here, or what do you want to do? Hey? What do you want to do? Do you want to come here? No? What do you want? I can't let you out right now. I'll let you out after, okay? You're fine. You were let out before we went on, okay? You go lay down, please, okay? Go lay down. Go lay down. You're fine. Go lay down on the couch. Come on. Give me 2 seconds. Come here. Come here. Lay down. Lay down. Okay. The dog is... I don't know what it's like she wanted out, but I literally let her out right before we came on here, so she's not one to go out every 2 seconds. She should be fine for a good 20 minutes or so. And Desmond's Donder says, yes, Dutch, okay. Let's see, Desmond's Donder says, I revised for my final exams for their Moving Waves album, loud on my headphones. Revised for my final exams to their Moving Waves album, loud on my headphones. Is that one of their albums, Desmond's Donders? Like I said, I don't know. There was something, they kept putting up something. Did they do a song or something called Hocus Pocus? Is that what, like I said, I don't know the names of everything for them. I just kind of, I did get to hear what they sounded like. And they did sound pretty interesting. They did sound interesting. I'd heard the name before, but I did not know about them. I did not know. And I'm not going to be... I'm no expert on the 70s music. I just know what I enjoyed listening to in that when I was younger. And most of my... his Hocus Pocus was Bifocus. That's hard to say, isn't it? Hocus Pocus was Bifocus. Yeah. I couldn't go into depth about the 1970s progressive scene. I can just go what I enjoyed, and... my enjoyment of that kind of music was, I loved Yes. I mean, I ended up really getting into Yes probably in the early 80s too, once Trevor Rabin came into the picture. But I like Steve Howe and Steve Hackett and stuff. But, I mean, Rick Wakeman, I think that's still one of my favorite keyboard players of all time. I mean, I think Rick Wakeman... Trevor Rabin and John Anderson last year, or I don't know if they're still on tour, but they were. I saw them on an interview in Los Angeles somewhere, and they were in outside of Detroit. They were doing a tour, and it sounded amazing. I mean, I really enjoy Trevor Rabin. I imagine true Yes people may not love Trevor Rabin, but I can really. The guy's an incredible guitarist. He came back in 1988 or 1989 to Toronto, and he played a club. And the man, I mean, it was like listening to an orchestra. This fellow with his guitar, I'd never heard anything like it. It was just amazing. I mean, truly, I mean, there was that other fellow they had sing with Yes there for a while. I think he was a Frenchman or a Quebecer from... I don't know exactly where he's from. Let's put it this way. He's one of the... like Journey, how they had their copycat singer, how they get the singer in there. It sounds identical, so that's probably why they want this singer. But, I mean, not Trevor Rabin, John Anderson, getting older. But, my gosh, what an incredible singer. Viewed this, the fun... of four-legged negotiations. Hey, Tony, how are you? It's good to see you. Yes, our dog, her name's Daisy. She gets excited, and usually, you don't hear from her. She doesn't come around. She is a good little dog. I mean, I keep calling her a little dog. She's 2.5 years old, but she's a good dog. Sometimes, I wish that I didn't have to deal with her as much, but my wife keeps telling me I'm not a dog person. But this dog reminds me of our dog when I was a little boy. We had a little dog like this. It literally looks like a miniature black lab. It's not. It's a mix of like a lab with Sheltie and, if you can believe, Jack Russell. The craziness in it is the Jack Russell, but it's I guess a mutt. It's a mix of just a little bit of everything. You pack me up, John. Back to work for me, everybody. You take care, John, and thanks very much for dropping in. Much appreciated. You have a good day, my friend. Have a good one. And if I don't catch you, have a good weekend, my friend. Have a good weekend. Excuse me for this. I'm a little stuffed up, but apologize. Trev says, Posh Cats Camping. There was a bit of yodeling going on with Focus in the song Hocus Pocus. We will be on a site in Fakem. Oh, give me a second. We will be on a site in Fakenham. Okay, that's how you say it. Thanks very much, Trev. I apologize. Sometimes it doesn't, you type things in, and the person on the other end always doesn't get, but phonetically, it works for me. Fakenham. You got the pronunciation right, Jeff. Thanks very much, Trev. I appreciate it. And that's the thing. I always say to my wife, I said, it's hard, nobody's talking back to you, so you try and you think it sounds right, and then it's like sometimes I'll be talking about something, and in my head I thought, this is what I was saying, and then Jill will get home from work, and she says, you had it all wrong. They were saying this, or they're talking about this, or you missed this part of the chat, and you missed the whole conversation. I said, oh, well, I don't really notice a lot of times till I see it played back, because sometimes the whole chat, I miss a whole section. It could be flying, and you just miss a whole part, or you've missed the main subject of the conversation. Take care, John. Thanks again. You pack meal. Thanks again, John. Desmond's daughters laugh aloud. Jack Russell, who put him up to it? Oh gosh. Now the funny thing is, Dave, my wife's previous dog, before we had Daisy, she was a white Jack Russell. It wasn't a Jack Russell. It was some kind of other terrier too, but her name was Willow. My wife called her Willow. We had her 13 years, and the reason she called her Willow because she looked like a little willow tree, like a little white willow. And anyways, she was a holy terror. She like I said, she lived to be 13. Then in the end, she was getting sick, and we had to put her down, unfortunately. And we thought, I remember we put her down in September, and not this, like a couple of years ago. And we put her down in September. My wife said, after it happened, she was really sad about it. It was her dog before I'd met her in that, and she said, I'd like to get another pup, but I said, no problem. I said, what do you say in the spring? This was September, in the fall. What about the spring? She said, that's good. It's a good time frame. You're not, it's not right after, so you can kind of get over it. Not get over things. You can kind of move on with things. So I said, that's good. Let's do that. So it was, I think, about 4 weeks, and then at night she always sits on the couch with me and stuff like that, and she plays on her phone. She talks to her family up north, where her nieces and her mom and her sisters and stuff, or sister. But anyways, I noticed she was doing something. I thought, what are you doing? She says, I'm looking at dogs. I said, oh, that's good. She says, do you think this weekend we could go look at a dog? And I said, sure. And I said, I thought we were going to wait till spring. She said, I know, but they just had pups at this farm outside of the city. So we went, looked, and before you know it, we had another puppy in that. Hey Mike, how are you? It's good to see you. WTF Mike Albright. Kitchen looks like a light under the pier. I had to look twice. Oh, under the pier. Yes. Oh yes, it does, doesn't it? It does. Sorry, Mike. Like I said, I've been just kind of messing around with it, and I've just been putting up other pictures. You know how I had the chat up here on the side? I had a pop-out chat, and then I was able to transpose it on the OBS. Well, I tried it on testing. Since we updated our Windows when we had to wipe the computer and put everything back, I got all the settings back, but then the chat program, I put it in, and it doesn't stay. It stays while I'm on. And then when I close out and come back, the chat doesn't come back. And I don't know what settings I've lost or something. But I've lost something, so I have to play around with it till I can get the chat transposed. But I can't see what the issue is, because I see everything's correct, the coding and stuff. But for some reason, it doesn't seem to be working. So the next couple of weeks, I'll try to... It's kind of hard to explain, but there's coding they have to do. It's not just copy paste it. Coding gives you the different colors and stuff like that. There's like, so anyways, to get that to look black and all that, you have to do that. And anyways, it's a little too much to talk about. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna have to work on a little bit more and figure it out. viewed this. Good morning, Jeff, and good morning, everybody. Sorry I snuck in to drop a little drop a comment and then got a phone call. Just returned now. Hope you're all well. Yes, Tony, thanks very much. I appreciate it. You know, you're busy, my friend, but I appreciate you. I do appreciate it, Tony. I really do. Excuse me. Suresh Music and Blogs. Hello, Suresh. How are you? It's good to see you. Desmond Donder says, yes, YouTube is... keep getting messages say I need to sign in the chat, so I click and then I get told I'm already signed in. That happened a while ago to me. That's happened a few times. It's happened where it says I'm not signed in and then I go back in, or vice versa, where it says I'm not, you don't have a channel added, and then the next thing you go back out and come back in, and then you're all signed up again. It's the strangest thing. Could just be a glitch and stuff, which unfortunately happens. It can happen with everything. But Suresh, Food Destination. Hi, dear. How are you? Good. I'm good. A little stuffed up, but other than that, pretty good. Good. Hope you're doing well. It's Happy Thursday, and like I was saying at the beginning, the reason I'm on a couple hours early today, we just have my mom's coming home from vacation. She was off on holidays for a couple of weeks, and the 2 o'clock time frame that I usually go on in about 2.5 hours from now, I'll be picking up my son from school, and we'll be headed to the airport to pick her up for 3 o'clock. So 2 just wouldn't be a good time at all. I'd just be leaving the house just about that time to get everything done. So I thought, you know what, to be on live today, was 11 o'clock our time was a good time to come on. And you know what, if people want to come on, that's fantastic. And if they're busy, that's fine too. Like I always say, people come on and say, oh, I haven't been on or whatever, and I'm always like, that's totally fine. You know what, everybody's got things going on. Sometimes when I go on, it's just a good time for me to go on. It's not always the best time for everybody, but it's great to see everybody. And if I see it today or I see it tomorrow or in a week or two, it doesn't matter. It's always good to see everybody. That my wife says it perfectly. She says, whenever you're here is the perfect time, and it doesn't matter when it is. So hopefully that sounds good. Rock Truck Rob, sorry about this. Rock Truck Rob, yes, YouTube's been funky. I'm having issues with the new YouTube Studio Beta. I have to figure out this Creator Studio or the Studio Beta or whatever it's called, because I used to click on your channel and then go in and be able to do things, view things, like do the editing and all that from there, like if I need to put in hashtags and all that stuff. Now I have to go to the very bottom and go to the Creator Studio Beta or something, the very bottom, click on another button. I don't know if things aren't just 100% ironed out yet or what, because before there was a link on the side, you clicked on it, boom, you went there, but now there's a couple different things. But I have noticed that they said they haven't, I don't think they finished working on 100%, so I'm thinking that's what it is. Excuse me for this. Sorry for this, everybody. Give me 2 seconds. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm gonna have to get this. If my wife knew I was using the hand towel for my hands other than drying things, she'd have a fit. So I'm gonna have to put this in the wash, because if she caught me putting it back up there after I got a little bit of cold and it's just not finished yet, so that's why the sniffle. So really sorry. It's just it takes a couple days. Usually within a week, it's all better. And I'm actually feeling a million times better than I did a few days ago. It's just runny nose and that's all. So, but I'm not going to tell her that I was using that. I'll throw that in the laundry later. There we are. Viewed this, Massachusetts, USA. Now, Tony, you know what? You did a great job with your pronunciation challenge for Dave from Desmond's Donders. And then when you gave Dave the challenge to do the words for your area, I loved it. Jo was cracking up. She says, oh my gosh, this is perfect. She thought it was fantastic. Desmond Saunders, yes, it is beta, and we are at the test team. I'm now defaulted to it. But I think link saved to take me to class. Is it? Oh, good. I think I've got to figure out how to do that. It's probably simple. I'm probably, when you just look at someone, you're just missing a step. I'm probably just missing a step. Because if I can get to that step, I won't have to click, click, click. And I think that's all it is. I think I've just missed something. It's not their fault. It's more my fault than anything. But, you know what? Like I always say, I'm having a good time on here. And I never want to say anything other than, you know, I'm enjoying it. And, you know, I'm lucky to be able to use it. So I'm not trying to kiss anybody's whatever. I'm just saying that, you know what? I do like it. And I think it's fun in that. I really do. I'm enjoying myself in that. And anyways, my wife would be like, "Yep, kiss that." You know. Let's see. Oh, are you at Rock Truck Rob? I'm in Midland, Ontario, Canada. I did not know that, Rock Truck Rob. So you're just outside of Midland. You're the other side of Barrie. Then you are the other side of Barrie, my friend. That's Midland, right? Yeah, it is, because I know when I would take my wife's from Sudbury, so we'd go up through on the 400 outside of Barrie, outside of Toronto, outside of Vaughan, and then just up that way. That's excuse me. He did an amazing job. I need to do the response of how we say him, Dave. Nailed some of them. Yeah, no, he did a good job, didn't he, Tony? He certainly does. You know what? Like I always say, I can't do every challenge. You know, some people ask. I still have a challenge that I need to do for Bob from Gale Skills. Bob had challenged us to do peanut butter and mayonnaise challenge. I dreaded it when I heard it, but you know what? He's a good fella, a good friend in that, and we're gonna do it. I was gonna do it this week, but I don't eat bread anymore. I took it out of my diet. I got the type 2 diabetes, so I find the flours and the starch is in the bread tires me out. So if I don't eat bread, it's the one thing that maintain my diet, like with the, it's not full of diabetes. I just take pills. I'm good. Watch my blood sugars, my sugar levels. As long as everything's good, drink a lot of water and just watch what I eat. Like try to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Now, the worst thing about me this winter right now is the exercise. I have to get out and walk more. Once I get back into that, I'll lose some of the jowls and stuff that I've got over the winter. I've got myself a little bit of a pot belly not a lot, but I probably gained about 10 pounds and stuff. So I need to lose that and get myself in good shape again, because I'm not usually one to sit around, but I've done a lot over the winter. I haven't been out as active as usual. So once I get back into that, should have nailed it again. Let's see here. Desmond's daughter said, laugh out loud, I just used the UK pronunciation. And Suresh says he's from India. Yes. And Diamond H Farmhouse Swank. Hello, how's it going? Good. Can't be better. You know what? Just like everybody, we all have good days and bad days, but I try, let's put it this way, I try when I'm on here especially, try to be as positive as possible. But like I said, you know what? I can get down as much as anybody, have those days where I'm like, but pretty good. And everybody's always saying, how do you stay so happy? And it's not like this all the time. My wife and kids will say, you know what, Dad's not like this. A lot of times he's just like any other whatever. I can get upset at the kids, but it's not that you're really getting upset at them. You're just trying to show them right from wrong. Because I see so many kids. My kids will tell me about this kid at school or this. I'm thinking, well, you know what? If the kids' parents paid attention, but it's not always that. Sometimes, you know what? Fortunately, home life's different for kids nowadays. It's not always what I remember. I had mom and dad at home, and we never. I don't want to say it was like Father Knows Best or the Leave It to Beaver or when Ozzie and Harry. Nothing like that. But we had a pretty good life as kids. But nowadays, kids live a different life. My daughter, she goes in between my ex-wife and I. She's with her mom during the week and then with us on the weekend. But I think, she's known nothing more than, we stay friendly with her mother and that. And my wife is actually good friends with her mom. And, they get along. They talk to each other on the phone a lot. And, everything's good that way. But you never know how families are in that nowadays. So I always say to my son sometimes, if a kid's this way at school, and that it's not always their fault. Sometimes maybe they've seen things at home, and maybe life's not the best for them at home. But so you try in that. But just like anybody, just like absolutely every single person out there, you try to teach your kid right from wrong, and sometimes you do a good job, and sometimes you don't. But that's just life. Anyways, I don't know how I got off on that topic, but you know I do get off on topics, don't I? But anyways, I hope everybody's having a good day. Give me a second to throw this out. Here we are. Today's my up and go day. Let's see here. I viewed this. Says I have a lot of clients from India in my business, and I live showing up to their shop. And when they're cooking, a lot of times I get to try food they make, and I love the food from India. Yes. Now view this. I lived in a certain section when I was a kid. I grew up in Toronto. I don't live in Toronto anymore, but when I grew up, there was a lot of like East Indians in a certain area. I lived in an area, probably third Italian, a third Indian, and it was there's Jamaicans. It was quite a different area of Toronto and stuff and that. But I had friends that were from India and stuff, and we did have a lot of different foods. My favorite still to this day is Italian. I always said to my wife, I said, when I was a kid, when we were kids, I always used to joke with my buddies. I said I was going to marry an Italian girl, and I was going to be the happiest man. I am the happiest man on earth, don't get me wrong. But as a kid, I always said to my buddy, I've been friends with for almost 38 years now. I always said to him, I said, you know what? I'm going to marry an Italian girl. You're going to come over. We're going to sit around. She's going to serve us. I don't know. I was a kid, right? I was a teenager. I didn't know what I was talking about. But she's going to serve us spaghetti, all the different pastas, the panzerottis, the rotinis, every calzones, every Italian dish you could ever imagine. I was going to be so happy, but anyways, I turned out I turned out to marry a French girl, and I'm very happy with her. Very, very happy. Because I don't want her coming on and go, what is he talking about? She always knows I'll go off on tangents anyways. But the Macam Nerd, hi everybody. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you very much for coming. Love on both those of life's laugh out loud. Oh gosh. Macam Nerd's asking, how's everybody? Good. I hope everybody's doing well. Suresh said, viewed this. You're right. I love spicy foods, especially. So does my wife, Suresh. So does my wife. I viewed this as true story. Grew up in a big Italian family. All the good foods, etc. Got my DNA done. I'm only... Isn't that the truth, Tony? Isn't that the truth? I'm only 12% from the region, and it leans more towards Greece. My mother refused to accept that. Now, Tony, I'm my dad's 100% Irish. There's nobody not Irish in his family. They born there. Probably 70, almost 80% of the whole family still lives there. My grandmother and grandfather came here, and they had a sister that came and had some kids. But the rest of the family had a big family. They're all there. They never came here. And as kids, we used to see them. The brothers, aunts and uncles and that used to come. The kids never did. The aunts and uncles used to come, and we used to see them as kids. And then, over the years, they passed away in the last 20 years. And, their kids all grew up and had kids. But they're all over there. They never came, so we don't know a lot of them. But I have aunts and uncles that are, in the Toronto area and around and stuff. But most of my dad's side is all over there. But my mom's side, they were here many years before that. But her grandfather, I think, was from Germany or something. And the other grandfather was Scottish descent. And, so Scottish and German. But the grandmother was born in Michigan, and she married a fellow that in the 1920s came over from Germany, and he became a farmer and grew up in this part of Canada. And then they had their family, and the other family member stayed in Michigan. So we have family members down in Ann Arbor and different parts of Michigan and stuff, which we met about 5 or 6 years ago. We didn't even know about. Somebody found them on Ancestry.com, and then we went and met them, and that's a long story, but a whole different side of the family didn't even know existed. But But and then if I told you the mix between the Scottish and German that mixes out, that whole family just goes into a totally different side of which I didn't. I thought it was just Scottish and German, but the German is not like right from Germany. It's other parts of Europe, down in certain parts of. Anyways, let's see here. Viewed this says, I sell alcohol and wine. Ooh, that sounds good. Well, Desmond Donders will be interested in that as much as I am, Tony. I am also a Macam. Desmond Donders? What? I have no idea what it means. So maybe you can, either Macam Nerd or Desmond Donders can tell us. I have no idea, Dave. No idea. I wonder if they know what it means on here. I don't, Dave. Not at all. Not 100%. I do not know. Poshcats Camp, and I travel a lot in my work as project manager and sample lots of different dishes. Semi-retired now, so I have to cook my own. Oh, gosh. Let's see here. Viewed this, Tony saying, my mom claims her side of the family is 80% Italian, 20% Irish. My dad claims 50-50 Irish-Swedish. Nope. They were both wrong. I'm 40% British. Yeah, I mean, and there's another thing. Now, I say Irish, but my grandfather's... What is it? My grandfather's relatives, his mother was right from Ireland, but his father... he was born in Ireland, but his father was born in England. So, because our last name's Wilson, so I don't think that's probably like an Irish name. I think that name is. I think it may be British. I don't know 100%, but we always say it's Irish, but because they're all from Ireland. But I don't really know if Wilson is an Irish name or if it's Scottish. Not Scottish. If it's English, but I think my great-great-grandfather something was he was born in England, but originally his family's from Ireland. Does that make sense? I'm not. We can only go back to one of their relatives because it seems to cut off even in Ancestry.com. Everything we've looked at, we go back, I think, a few generations, and then it just stops. There's no like the bloodline. I can't find anything about them. Now the other family can, but the one. It's like the name Wilson. It doesn't. I mean, it's a huge name. It's like Smith, right? You'd think there'd be millions of them, but my one grandfather had a brother, and he never had kids, so it kind of ends there, or at least he says he didn't. So we don't really know the whole story behind everything there. And my grandfather's long gone, and my dad always said he didn't talk about his. My grandfather didn't talk about his family, and that's a long story, but. Desmond Saunders, yes, the Germans were always spreading around Europe. Yes. This says, I sent a bottle of bourbon to a channel called Beer, Bourbon, and Games, and he reviewed it. Cool. Oh, wow. That's awesome, Tony. That is so cool. Cool way to collaborate. Nice guy. His name's Chris, and he does great reviews if anybody wants to check him out. Tony, I'll have to take a look. What's it called? Beer, Bourbon, and Games. Beer, Bourbon, and Games. That's what it's called, right, Tony? I'll have to take a look at that. I always go through things usually later anyways, but I'll have to take a look at that. That'll be cool. And, Desmond Donders is looking to do some reviews, talk about, I think about, like, whiskey and different drinks and that, Tony, so I'll have to take a look at that. I really do enjoy that. I like some beer and some bourbon, and I will look into that, Tony. I will look into that. Excuse me for this. I'm really sorry about being stuffed up like this. It's just, a couple days it'll be all cleared up and you won't have to listen to Stuffy Jeff anymore. This says, I'm mostly British and French, so far off from what I was told. Research my last name, it's French. My name is... really? No way. Tony, I have... It is a totally French name, Tony. Totally is. My wife, Jo, her last name is totally French name, and her best friend. I'm pretty sure that was her last name. Her maiden name was Aubin before she was married and stuff. I'll I'll have to ask my wife. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not 100%, but I mean, the name is, I imagine there's thousands just like my name and everybody else's. But the name, I thought, wait a second, that name sounds awful familiar. I will ask Joe this evening. View this. You like it, Dave? Tell him we sent you. He's going to be one of my Viewed This After Dark episodes. View this as yes, beer, bourbon, and games. Okay, well, take a look at it, Tony. I will take a look at that. Excuse me for this. Sorry about that. Desmond's daughter says, Macomb or Mate? Is it Macomb? Macomb is the informal nickname for people from Sunderland, a city in northeast England. Not to be confused with Geordie or Gordy. And for a fan, whatever their origin of Sunderland AFC. I'm not. Now, Dave, see, that's the thing. People over here may not. I don't know what the AFC is, and I'm not trying to be ignorant. I just don't know. Sunderland AFC. We are French Canadian, actually. View this. So is my wife. She's from northern Ontario, but her family all come from Quebec. So they're originally all from Quebec. But the family, her father's family, came from France, and the name, that family, when you look back, if the last name, my wife didn't ever know anybody with her last name. And what happened was there's, I think, two brothers that came from France. One went back to France and the other stayed, and he had his family. And then the last name itself was like an offshoot. It wasn't actually over there. It wasn't spelt the same way it was here. It just over time became the way it's spelt now. It actually came with like it was spelt slightly different variation over there, but she's been able to trace all the people like in North America to that one family. It doesn't show it anywhere. It goes back to I think 1600 and something, but the family itself is originally originated from two brothers that came. One, like I said, headed back to France, and one stayed here and had family with offshoots to out west, different parts of the United States, down in I think in Arizona, and stuff like that, and a few others in other parts of western parts of the United States. But I think a lot of them are still in Quebec and some out in Alberta and stuff like that. But yeah, my wife is French Canadian as well. Suresh says, I love mango and apple juice. Only laugh out loud drink. Well, that's good, Suresh. Our kids do too. They like a lot of the fruit juices. And you know what? Probably a lot better for you than the other drinks, Suresh. But yes, my kids do too. This says originated in France, but the bloodline is French Canadian. Okay. It is nice to meet everybody, isn't it, Suresh? It certainly is. Desmond's daughter says Association Football Club Soccer. Okay. Sorry, Dave. I'm not being rude or ignorant. I didn't know that. That's all. It does sound like a good combo, doesn't it, Tony? Mango apple sounds like a good combo. It certainly does. Bye, guys. Take care, Suresh. Thanks very much. View this. Yes, 1600s. Yes. And I think that's about the time when my wife's family came over. They found a certain... Like I said, what happened was she didn't know any members of the family, just her dad and like a few. He had all sisters, so she didn't know other than the ones who were up from where she lives. But beyond that, there's no brothers, so the name didn't go any further. So she didn't know anybody with her last name, which is funny. Here in London, there's a few fellas here with the same last name, and she says, so funny, they have my same last name. I said, oh yeah, they're probably related. She says, no, none of them are related. I said, oh yeah, that's funny. Anyways, needless to find out, she finds that they're all related for sure. But and the two fellas that we see, they're real estate agents, so I see them all the time driving through the city. Their faces are plastered over the one older, the father, and then the son. I think the father's retired now, but the son, he's on a lot of the for sale signs, real estate signs, and he looks he looks exactly like my wife's brother. It could be his twin. And I said, see, Joe, that's it. They have to be related. Like if you saw them, they could be brothers. They could exactly alike. So, but it's funny because here my wife's last name is pronounced with a real French accent, but not here, but up north it's pronounced with a real French accent. You say it like a different, like a real. It's hard to pronounce, but here they say it like an English way. You would say it. It doesn't even have the same meaning almost when you pronounce it here. Demboki, hi bro, how's everybody doing? Good. I hope you're doing well. Rock Truck Rob, okay, everybody, lunch is on. Gotta go. Soup and a sandwich. Drop the like and spread the love. Thanks a lot, my friend. You have a good one. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Gosh, give me a second. Timbuki, great background screen. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, it's just you see the webcam picture. That's just us here in the kitchen. The background is just an image that's put up in the background. That's all. And we have a few images that we try every day just to liven things up, and kind of wanted a kind of a sunny image. So it's under the pier, but as you can see, it does kind of go out, kind of radiate some sun. So it's kind of nice. It is kind of nice. I'll probably go 5 more minutes, everybody, and then I'll shut it down. I won't stay on long, like I said today. Just kind of a short one, but just enough to get on and talk to some people, say hi, and see how everybody's doing today. Oh gosh. Tony viewed this. It's funny about Ancestry.com. My uncle, my one uncle, he had Ancestry.com, and about 4 or 5 years ago, he had always said, none of his kids had wanted to get into the Ancestry stuff, and he says it's kind of sad. He's in his late 80s. He says none of my kids are interested in any of this. I think this last year or two, some of them got into it, but they really weren't interested. But my wife, she was interested. She's like, I love it. I'm so interested. But we don't, they have free weekends where you can go on Ancestry.com. So what he did, I guess Ancestry, you can share some of the information. So my wife signed up for an account, and he gave her his account information so she can sign in and she can go in and we can see all the Ancestry stuff that he has. And he does it not just for his own, but for his wife, so for my aunt and all our family. So he's done all of that. And he's even done some of the stuff for my wife's family. And so when she saw that, she says, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. She had no idea about a few of them. So he said, well, you know what? You can use this. So she's been able to use that. And so after that, she's like, this is so interesting. So what she did, she bought a 6-month membership a few years ago. It was half price or something. They had a special, so it was great. She used that, and for months she was on almost every night. She'd be on to like 2 o'clock in the morning. On the weekend, she'd be up like to 4 o'clock, and she'd be going through things. That's where she found a lot of stuff, where I was saying she found stuff back in the like 1640s or 1650s or 70s, something like that. And she printed all of it off, and she saved it into her, I think you can like set up your own records and stuff, and she saved everything, and everything's saved there. Luckily, it's, but then, things changed in that, but she does have all the information, but she came to a point where she couldn't find anything anymore, but she was happy to go back that far, but she would like to go back to it, but she found it so interesting, so interesting. G Money Strong Outdoors. Hey Jeff, been a bit since I've been able to stop. And hey, G Money Strong, it doesn't matter. My wife says the perfect time is when you're here. It doesn't matter if you're here today, tomorrow, a week, a month, whatever. It's great to see you, and it is. And I can say the same about being to other people, like probably your channel or somebody else's. It's been maybe a bit for me too. So don't take it personally. I don't take it personally either for anybody, because you know what, we can all get around, but sometimes we can't. So the perfect time is when we see you, and that's what I find, at least. So thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Judy Turner, good afternoon. It's great to have you here. It's pretty cool. I've been meaning to do it too. Yeah, I think the Ancestry stuff is so interesting, and I do like it. I don't know as much about it as my wife does, but it is fun. It really is. Viewed this says, I need to get back to work. It was great seeing y'all. The Don't Quit family, Jeff, and everybody else. Have a great day. Thank you all so much for the support you give us. Be well. Yeah, Tony, thanks again, my friend. You have a good one, and send my love to my cousin Jojo. Tony, Joe's gonna love that. Tony, you take care. Okay, have a good one. Have a great day and a good weekend, my friend. Oh gosh, this has been fun today. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it. I really do. You know what? I had something on the tip of my tongue I was going to say, and I can't remember it for the life of me. I can't remember it. My wife's always saying, write it down. I'm always afraid, and I'm only at a certain age. I don't know what 20 or 30 years, if I live that long, what is going to bring if I forget things now. What is it going to be down the road? Thanks, you too. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good one. Yeah, we have a fella that lives. Like I said, we live in a townhouse. We have a fella we've known for years. The few years that we've been here, nice fella, him and his wife. And when we see them, we always talk to them and that. And the last few years, he started into that. I think he's got Alzheimer's, and it started about we moved here about 6 years ago, I guess, and about 4 or 5 years ago it started for him. Nice fella. You know, at first, what was that? I forgot. And it's slowly starting. And this last 6 months or so, we've really noticed. Now when he sees us, sometimes he'll forget my wife, or he'll forget me. And then, you know what, like 5 minutes later, he remembers everything, or he'll remember something from like the first time we met or something. But it's really too bad. But I guess it happens. I wonder if there's something they could ever do about that. But it is a strange thing and a horrible thing to happen for families and stuff, especially. Yeah, it really is. It honestly is. Oh gosh. Anyways, I guess like I said, I was only going to give it 5 minutes, so I should probably close it up today and let everybody go. It's been a great day. Thanks so much for coming, everybody. I have, not that I want to go, but I should get going because I have to get a few things done in the next hour and a half before we head out. I came on early today for one reason. My mom's coming home from vacation. She went away for 2 weeks. She just needs somebody to pick her up at the airport, and it's 12 o'clock here, 10 after 12, and I pick her up at 3, so about 2 I'll leave here, get my son, and we'll get down to the airport. It just takes a tiny bit to get out there, and we'll pick her up. So that's the reason for the early live today. But I hope everybody has a good one. It's been great to see everybody. Dave, Desmond's daughters, you and Lindsay have the best time, okay? Have a great time, and we'll see you when you get back. We'll look forward to... I'll send you the thing either today or when you get back. But have a good time, Dave. Enjoy yourself. Take care, Jeff. I'll have a great week. I know I will. I know you will. That's good. And Trev Podcast Camp says, "Hi, Judy Turner. I'm going to watch your new sweet potato fries vid after this." Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Excuse me, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm probably good. I'm starting to get stuffed up here, so nobody needs... Yeah, I'm starting to get stuffed up here. Nobody here needs to hear that. So on that note, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your day. You too, Judy. Thank you so much for dropping in. I'm sorry that I'm dropping off. I have a couple things I got to get done before going to get my mom at the airport. But I really appreciate everybody for coming, okay? Have a good day and great night. And if I don't catch you tomorrow, some of you, I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. Desmond Donders, bye, Jeff. Thanks for the stream. Oh, no, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Trev, Podcast Camp, bye, Jeff. Thanks, Trev. Everybody, thanks again. Have a good night and good weekend if I don't catch you later. And Judy Turner, thanks again. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm not trying to miss anybody's name. I'm just reading some of the names. Viewed this, Tony. I'm just reading some of the names in the chat right now. That's all. Have a good one. We'll catch you again, okay? Take care.